Hi, it's May here. Have you ever had to take time off of work for health reasons or maybe family obligations? Perhaps you know somebody who has. Or maybe you're managing somebody who's going through this right now. Well, this could happen to any one of us at any time. Nobody is immune. And the thing is, managing that kind of phased return back to work isn't always so simple. You may feel that you can't carry your own weight, and that's troubling to you. You may be worried that your colleagues might be judging you, or maybe you're concerned that you're missing opportunities. And if you're an achiever, you're probably feeling super frustrated that you can't push yourself as hard as you always have, that you can't operate at 120%, that you can't say yes to every project. Well, if you're feeling this way and managing your return back to work, it's perfectly normal. And there are lots of things you can be doing, but I want to share with you 6 in particular that I think can be particularly helpful. So the first one is understand that your job number 1 is to focus on your health or your family obligation, whatever that is. And it's only you can make that a priority. Only you can do that focus, make that focus. And it's really important at this stage to just make a sustainable recovery or set up a sustainable situation at home. The second thing is that you want to be setting up your deal with your boss. Do that up front. And what I mean by that is you want to have a conversation with your boss and talk about how you want to phase back in. They're going to be guided by what you want and what you're capable of. So you can take some leadership and express what that is. And at the same time, you want to make sure you bake in some check-in points. So just make it so that you have some meetings or conversations that happen on a regular basis to make it normal to talk to your boss about how you're feeling and where things are standing, whether that's at the end of every week, at the end of every month, and so forth. Then third, it's about the communication. Decide for yourself what the message is that you want to give to people at work. What do you want to tell your boss? What do you want to tell your colleagues? What do you want to tell your clients? It might be the same thing. You might feel comfortable with the same level of transparency with everybody. And by the way, if you can do that, that makes your life so much simpler. Because when you tell people what the facts are and what the situation is, then they can go on with their lives and go about their own business because they know, oh, okay, that's what May's deal is. Okay, fine. But if for whatever reason you don't feel that way, then make sure you find some small group of people that you can be totally transparent with. And I'm not talking about TMI as in too much information here, but just what the situation really is, because you're going to need their support. Ideally, that would include your boss, maybe 1 or 2 very, very close colleagues or your friends and family, and then decide what you're comfortable with saying to everybody else. But don't leave them wondering and guessing, because then that's when things get really messy. Then fourth, you want to be compassionate with yourself. Cut yourself some slack. Be realistic about what you actually can do. So if you only have, when I fractured a vertebrae in a car accident and I had to lie in bed for 3 months, and when I started back to work, I could only spend an hour at first, then an hour and a half, and then 2 hours. So just be realistic about what that is, and make sure you factor in commuting time too, so that into how much time you can actually, and energy you have. Then fifth, don't worry about what others are thinking. I know. That's really, really hard. But that goes back to item number 1, which is your number 1 job is to focus on getting better or setting up the situation so it's better. And then even if people are worrying about you all the time, which by the way, they're not, because everybody's got their own stuff to worry about. But even if they are spending every waking moment thinking about you and your situation, then you can rest assured that your reputation that you've always had can really carry you through a long way. We all know how hard it is to change a first impression. And when that impression people have of you is already really good, then that's going to carry you on. So don't worry what other people are thinking. And then sixth, when you're at work, focus on the quality of your work and not the quantity. And on a practical basis, just go into the office or wherever it is when you're starting to do your work and just decide what is the one thing you're going to focus on getting done that day, or maybe 2 things or at most 3 things. And then you can get those done well and feel really good about yourself. So those are 6 things that you can do to ease your way back into work after a long absence. Now I want to ask you, what challenges have you faced in your return to work. Scroll down and leave a comment so that we can all help out. And by the way, if you haven't signed up for my blog yet, head on over to maybusch.com and I look forward to welcoming you there.